request everyone to stand up. If you are unable to stand up, it's okay. You can sit and do this exercise. A bit of energizer to make sure that the group has got full of energy, and then you yourself has energy to start the day. All right, raise your hand and assume that you are a tree. And then it starts to blow winds. It's a windy day. And to the music, Ali, can we hear music a bit more? And
yeah, good.
Move. Okay, okay. Move. Move. Yes. You are tree. You are tree. Yeah. Okay. Wind is blowing. Do exercise. Yes. Stretch your body. Stretch. 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 You can do it by sitting. Okay. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Slowly you can stop that. And also we are going to do some breathing before we start. Yesterday, the panel discussion, breathing, how important the breathing was also discussed. Let's start with breathing. For that, we are going to have 5 breaths, breathe in and breathe out. To breathe in, you're going to inhale from nose and then breathe out from mouth. Okay, shall we start? All right, breathe in, hold and breathe out. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in, hold and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now you must be relaxed. Thank you very much. Thank you for the participation. Sound not very clear, Imelda is saying. Is it, Ali, can you check the sound?
No, now it's good. I think should be okay. Because there's a part where we transfer between the music but I think now it's good. So you can share the slide deck and take it on.
All right. Thank you very much once again for the participation. And we're going to talk about cognitive apprenticeship, and to go with that, first of all, we should understand what cognitive apprenticeship is. Can you go to a chat box and write what does cognitive apprenticeship means to you? Very quickly, can I see a few answers? What does cognitive apprenticeship means to you? Keep writing. Anil, guided development, very good. Wahid, theory of process, we are mastering skill through someone. Process teachers, very good responses. Well, that's all true, and it is a process where we learn through others. Let's go to the presentation. Now, as the definition, it is learning from others who know skills by observing them and through their guidance. To make it very simple form, you're sending someone to learn a skill to someone who knows the skill better than the person. It's as simple as that. Cognitive apprenticeship means learning something or learning a skill through someone who knows the skill already. So that doesn't mean that the person who learns the skill or who teaches the skill should be very good at something. Even now in the Maldives, there are very good apprenticeship programs going on. As you can see, Four Seasons has started a very good one. We so many Maldivians were developed through that program. Adar and Midupur also, they have got very good program for that. they have taken this initiative and then develop a lot of Maldivian through that. When we go back, just think about the skills that you have learned. By the way, in the photo, it's my mother. My mother never went to school. She never did any kind of formal learning, but she is very good at making this traditional libas, dress. How she learned it? And this is where we need to think. If someone who can learn, or if you can learn a skill by observing or by going to someone or asking someone to explain you how it is done, then it is cognitive apprenticeship. And also, just imagine to me the Maldivian boat building, how it evolved. The carpenters, head carpenters, and also boat builders, how they learned these skills. Of course, not by going to schools, but going to the carpenters and learning the skills by observing and also by learning and through their guidance. Same way, fishing. Fishing, of course, in schools, we teach how it is and in theoretical way. But how we do fishing only comes through this cognitive apprenticeship or learn through others. And also the building construction, the beautiful buildings that we have, the houses we have, and all these coming through the experience from others or learning from others, observing others, we learn them. So these skills are already learned, and then there are so talented people around us who have mastered these skills. So in that case, if they can master these, why cannot we just call someone or call group of children to us, and we cannot why cannot we just mold them to the skills that we require them to have? The other question is, do we have trainees? Do we have people to train? It is a very common remark from so many employers saying that we don't have people. We don't have employees, or we don't get such kind of candidates to do this job or that job. But when we check the statistics from 2008 to 2018, 10-year period, in the school, the secondary enrollment, grade 8, 9, 10, enrollment tells that average 16 to 17,000 students are there in schools. So that's a lot. Of course, they will complete the school and come out and join workforce. And also secondary school, from the period of 2008 to 18, you can see on average there are 4,000 enrolled in the school. That means there are people, after 2 years, they will be out to join workforce. So we have people. And when we compare the O-level and then those who go for A-level, from this chart you can see the blue one is those who complete this secondary school certificate, and the orange one is after completing they join A-level. But the silver one is they are waiting for somewhere. After O-level, they are not going for anywhere. That means in the year 2017, after O-level, 3,759 were ready to join, or they have joined somewhere. So we have people. This is for the target of us. If we keep only to this 3,759 individual, we can just do miracles. We can call them and we can train them and we can mold them. And the other thing is, when we start a training program, especially apprenticeship program, we should also understand the generations, and we should integrate the generations to the learnings. Now, even in this conference, various speakers talk about generations, and then we can analyze the generations that we have in our organization. The cognitive apprenticeship, one thing that we can just focus is like the people who we have in our organization, we can call them, and then we can give them the required training for them to make sure that they are ready for another step, or to take a task that you require them to take. Just analyze your work group, or just uh, think about the person or the people you get to train, whether they are of baby boomers, generation X, generation Y, or millennials. This area is mostly people talk about millennials, because millennials are dominating the workforce currently. But I advise all the trainers and also all the organizations to be more focused on generation Z, or Gen Z, generation Z, because they have started to work. And now Gen Z, those who are of 24 years are Gen Z. So when we can focus on them, and then we have to have our training programs, our development programs, and all our sessions based on the kind of mindset they have. So even when we start an apprenticeship program, make sure that we do such a way that we can catch their interest, and we can go with them in accordingly. Just go through and then read the characteristics of each of these generation before going for the program. Now I'm going to share you a concept, a model that we can use to do the apprenticeship program. The model is proposed by Alan Collins. It says modeling, coaching, scaffolding, articulation, reflection, and exploration. Now, if you are having any kind of trainings, or especially skill trainings, this is a way that we can do, and we can interact, and we can make the training or the learning successful. By modeling, it means the expert or MKO. MKO means someone who is more knowledgeable than the other. Perform task. Let me talk about what is MKO. MKO, once again, it means someone who is more knowledgeable than the other. That doesn't mean that it must have someone who has got a lot of certificates, or someone who has got a lot of experience. If someone has got a better experience, or better understanding, or more knowledge on that particular topic or area than you, then that person can be MKO. For example, when we're talking about developing or training a waiter, let's say, to serve a coffee, so that the MKO should not necessarily be the training manager, or not necessarily be the F&B manager, or should not even necessarily be F&B supervisor. Can be another waiter, because another waiter has got more knowledge about serving a coffee than the individual. So the MKO, the expert, performing a task in modeling, and the learner can observe and build concept based on that, and also accomplish the task, and also make knowledge and strategies visible and specific to work setting. So by modeling, we can make sure that we model and we explain them to the learner, and then the learner can understand it when we do it. And the other part is coaching. Coaching means observing learners while they carry out the task. First, we did modeling, and then after that, we do coaching. We let them experience it, and then we let them do it. While they are doing, we can just observe the learners task and observe what they are doing, and also if there is anything that we need to attend, offer feedback, and also discuss about the challenges that they have, and the aim of it to be to bring in their performance closer to expert performance. No trainer or learner or no MKO is better if the learner cannot perform the task exactly that the learner want by the training. Sometimes the learner will create his own perception and also can make it even better than the trainer. And also the other part is scaffolding. Scaffolding is very important, especially in when we are doing apprenticeship program. Scaffolding is proposed by Vygotsky. Most of the teachers and L&D experts will know about Vygotsky. Vygotsky has proposed ZPD, or zone of proximal development, and it is also explained very well about ZPD. ZPD is the zone where the learner cannot perform on his or her own. Or in other words, the learner requires assistance or help in order to accomplish the task from someone else. For example, if you go and check the chart, you can see A, ZPD, and B. A is the learner. Learner can do independently without anyone's help. That's where the learner is. So that is the existing schema of the learner. What the learner has got now. So to expand that, the expansion or that zone is called ZPD, zone of proximal development, or the zone where the learner can achieve with the help of others. So that's where the MKO comes. That's where the scaffolding comes. To cover that ZPD or zone of proximal development, the MKO assists the learner to cover that area. The learner should not necessarily have always the B. B is the things that learner will not be able to do. Once ZPD is covered once, again another layer of ZPD will come. So again another layer. The learning expansion, it goes on and goes on. So once again, scaffolding is the assisting the learners to go to the level where the trainer wants the learner to go, or the area where the learner cannot go independently. And also scaffolding is the support provided by the trainer to trainee in order to accomplish the task, or the trainer cannot independently do it without assistance. And also it is also to move learner towards strong understanding and ultimately greater independence in learning process with the help. So when we give this scaffolding, with the help of scaffolding, we can carry the learner into an independent individual to perform the task. And also articulation is also very important to test the learners, and also to connect the learners' knowledge, and also to communicate it. Getting learner to describe their mental process of problem solving or reasoning is very important, so that the learning process happen. This can be done through various means, by questioning, by doing something, or communicating. It helps learners to communicate and clarify their own thinking by describing, explaining, and examining the strategies and comparing their own practice with those of MKO. And also, with this, learner can also create their own strategies and their own explanation to do things. And a reflection, it is very important that we have reflection, enhance their own problem solving process with other people's process, including expert, and they reflect it, and then they create their own theories. So we have to give the learners independently to create their own theories. It's very important. lead the learners to new ideas or to reconsider an idea in a new way. When we teach, you cannot believe, when we teach something to someone, they will come up with their own ways to do things, and they will be very, very creative. We need to give them the independence. The deeper reflection leads to a greater understanding and develop uh, existing schemas. So it is important when we have the existing schema, the existing knowledge, and we reflect it to make sure that the knowledge improves to a next level. To exploration, getting learner to set their own goals. After that, the learner set their own goals and self-knowledge of practice in enhanced by engage in actual situation through trial and error. So after learning a skill, we have to let the learner go and experience themselves, and they do it, and then we have to give them chance to make mistakes, or they have to do trial and error and become experts. An act of explanation leads to refinement and adaptation of skills and knowledge. So we adapt the knowledge by exploring different methods of the learned concept. That's about the model. Sure, if you are doing any apprenticeship program, you can use this model, and it is an effective one which we can use. I have seen this model used by Zaki. Thank you, Zaki, for using this model in CCR. It's very effective in there. And when we talk about apprenticeship program, we also should consider, especially the organizations should consider certain things. Do we have a value in this apprenticeship program? If you have any concern or any question, or if you want to add anything, you can always write in the comment area. Thank you, Rifa, about the beautiful comment, and Yuraj. And as organizations, we must be able to, we must consider these apprenticeship programs. Now, what is happening is, if someone applies to a job, and even if someone submits any apprenticeship certificate, sometimes it devalues, and some organizations do not consider it. So it is very important that the as a community as a whole, we accept these kind of apprenticeship programs, and also we also give value to that, in understanding how important it is. And also, we also should come up with something, a mechanism where these kind of apprenticeship programs can be accredited. Yesterday, in Ahmed Nasir's presentation, he talked about that any organization, any resort can be a training institute. So we can affiliate with that. Probably our apprenticeship programs we can design, and we can get affiliation from Tibet Authority. And I have something that everyone to consider. Are you ready to write something for me? What is it? Can you go to the chat box and write what you can see from the screen now? Charcoal, Elaine, coal, rock, go. Very interesting. Stone. Well, it can be anything, yeah. When you get this, you may not know what it is, but if I show you the complete picture, you will realize what it is. There it is. There you go. Actually, when we get someone, we just don't realize that the person can be polished into a beautiful, very valuable diamond. So get a rock from somewhere and then polish it to make it a beautiful, valuable diamond. In other words, just get someone. If you have someone in your mind, or if you have a CV, or if you have somebody to join your organization or your work, just bring them and then train the skill that you want uh, uh, the individuals to have, because they can learn. They can always, you can always polish them to diamonds. The future, how does the future look like? Okay, now let's go to chat box and write in apprenticeship how the future would want you, how would you want the future to be? How would you want the apprenticeship future to be, or the learning and development future to be? Talented? Be like a diamond? Yeah. Very promising, yes. Engaging, uncertain. Here you can write how you want the future to be. There is no right or wrong answer in that. You can write how you want the future of L&D, or the future that you want to see. Bright? Yeah. The sun will always be there, so it will be always bright. More companies adopting apprenticeship programs very well. Need more virtual workforce, accepting, promising, and bright. All right, thank you very much for your beautiful comments and then great ideas. And I would like to share the future that I want to see in this. Like in the Maldives, we have a lot of different opportunities. I want to have these apprenticeship programs to be well known and well recognized. And also, I want to see a place where in the Maldives, since the hospitality is the major economic industry now, I would like to see one of the training resort that emerges in the Maldives. For example, one resort can be the training resort, where all the HODs will be MKOs, more knowledgeable others, or lecturers, or the people who train the others, and then we call for interns, or we call for apprenticeship program, and then we train them, we certify them, and then they can join back to resort. This is the future that I would love to see, to have a separate resort or a training institute that is called resort, where the training that takes place. Maybe one day it may happen. This comes to the end of this presentation. If you have any question or any comment, you can share. And if you would like to have any, would like to share me anything or to get any idea, you can always contact me.
Yes, very good, Said. Good to see you. I mean, you did this wonderful exercise, and I think you've just shown something to all our participants and everybody else watching. You know, even if it's virtual, and you could get these activities done, to energize your training, and you have just shown how fun it could be, even if we have to do, right? I'm sure many of us did it actually. So well done. I just want to obviously, there's a couple of comments that came through, but since you are also from an L&D background, I just wanted to ask you a question around So obviously we have these apprenticeship programs, and most of the time it's half followed through theory, and then there's the practical part, right? So the question is, do is there sort of like, one size fits all model for apprenticeships, or there are different other models? Not necessarily, like most of the apprenticeships, you have 3 months of theory, 3 months of practical, 2 months of theory. And what's your message to those L&D professionals who wants to develop their own way of apprenticeship program? Briefly, if you can
Thank you
share.
very much, Afif, for the question. It's a very, very important question. The first thing that we should understand is apprenticeship program can be anything. Like, for example, we can just call someone and then train them how to laugh, like the other laughing, how to give a laugh in therapy. Or we can just call someone and ask to move a book from one place to the other place. Apprenticeship can be as simple as that. And to go to the question, if we want to have apprenticeship program with has got more value, and then a program where other organizations also will value it, probably we can have, as you mentioned, we can have 3-month theory or 3-month practice, or it can go vice versa. Together also can be done, theory along with the practice. So the one thing that we should understand, there is no one best model to go for apprenticeship program. You can be creative, you can go out and be crazy and then do your own apprenticeship program.
Very good, Sai. Thank you so much for connecting with us and really sharing this interesting, concept, and also an encouragement of us how we can make our apprenticeship programs much, much better. So thank you very much. And as we come to the end of almost at the end of our conference, before I move on to the next speaker, just a closing remark from your side.
I would like to thank for the given opportunity to share my thoughts about cognitive apprenticeship in the Maldives, or that we can practice in our organization. Thank you very much for that. And I also appreciate all the speakers who has shared valuable presentations to the community in this difficult time virtually. Thank you, Afif, and thank you, team, for wonderful session arranged. And it is one of the kind, and I'm sure with these presentations, many of us will be helped. Thank you so much.
Yeah.